We are live in all these three platforms. So welcome. Finally, we're live everywhere. We're live on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us for this live stream. We are here with Emilio, who's going to talk a little bit about himself in a while. But I would like to welcome you to the AppJobs channel, YouTube channel, to the Facebook page or the Instagram page. We are here today to talk about life as a delivery rider, a courier, whatever you want to call it. That's Emilio. He's going to be the one doing all the talking. I'm here just to introduce him to you. I guess we can start this. So let's start off with, who are you? Hello, Emilio. Say hi.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do? Where are you right now? How did you end up here? Things like that. Just a little introduction.
Yeah. Well, my name is Emilio. I live here in Stockholm, Lidingö, actually. It's a little bit outside of Stockholm. I've been here for since 2015, so that's 4 years now. And it's a beautiful city, so I love it. I work, I have two jobs. My main job is at Systembolaget, if you know that, where you can buy spirits and beer, wine and stuff. So I work there like 70%. And like 2 years ago, I saw some guys riding with this pink shirt and the pink
Very
bag
pink shirt.
everywhere. You could see them everywhere downtown. So I always had like this secret dream, like working as a bike messenger.
Yeah.
So I went in the website and applied for a job. So now I work as a delivery boy for Foodora, and been doing that for 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's really cool. But tell us a little bit about you. Like, what do you do here in Stockholm? Like, how? Yeah.
Well, what you do in Stockholm? You do a lot of things.
No, but do you work here? Like, what else? Like,
I work in Lidingö.
Mm-hmm.
I live there too, and live in a little house close to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very beautiful there.
Yeah.
And before going to Stockholm, I lived in a small city in it's like people here say it's northern Sweden, because everything above North Tull is like northern Swedish, northern Sweden, but it's called Hedemora in Dalarna. It's a beautiful city, beautiful area. I was there 3 years, and before that I lived in Borås. I was born in Borås. So
you were born in Sweden, but you moved out a little bit, right?
Yeah, but as my mom is Brazilian, I moved to Brazil when I was a baby. So
okay.
I've been living both on and off between Brazil and Sweden.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So, this is Emilio. And as I said to you guys, this is the main topic for today. He works with Foodora as a delivery rider. So we're just going to go through that. But first, I would like to remind you that this video is going to be later on, not on Instagram, because that's going to be disappearing, but on YouTube and on Facebook. This video is going to continue there on our page. So whenever you want to come back to watch it, it's still going to be there. Also, we have a couple of papers here to help us out with the topics that we're covering for you. So if we look down or we look to anything like this, you know why. And yeah, so make sure if you just ended up in any of these links, just make sure to give a like in our page, to subscribe to our channel, and to also like our Instagram and leave comments. We're here to talk to you guys. So anything you want to know from Emilio, from his experience, we're going to be covering. And if you have any questions, just ask it away. So going to another block of questions, I just wanted to know a little bit about your job. So you did explain how you started off with Foodora, but I wanted to know a little bit, did you ever work with an app job like this one before? I bet you didn't, I don't know if you had any idea of this world of making money with apps before.
Actually, I didn't. I always thought the normal kind of jobs.
Yeah.
You go to, I don't know, a store or office somewhere and try a job there. So I didn't know if it existed AppJobs.
Yeah.
So that was kind of new to me.
But you went and tried anyway.
Yeah, And this, well, it's very simple actually. Working with the like your office is your app, your phone. So
but what was the motivation? Do you remember, like, oh, like, why am I gonna try this out? Was it riding? You really like cycling?
Yeah, right? I always liked cycling. I remember when I got my first road bike when I was 14 years old, and like his speed and that's why I said I told them before that I always had like a dream of working as a bike messenger. So when I saw the chance, I applied for a job, and so as I like I go out like twice a week. Or before that, before I started working as a bike messenger, I was out at least cycling. Wow. So why don't, if you can get paid for it, so why not?
Might as well do it, right? Yeah. But you were already working with something else, so Foodora and being a writer, it's like a side thing, right?
Yes, it's a side thing, and I do it for fun because I like it. I enjoy it.
But I think a big question that a lot of people have is like, do you think it's enough, like, to just work with Foodora, just work as a writer, like as a income? Do you think you could live with just Foodora as an income, or?
I think a lot of guys at Foodora, they do it as a full time. Not exactly full time, because your contract, you have a contract for 10 hours a week. So that's, you're not gonna make a living working 10 hours a week. But especially during winter, autumn, it's possible to get a lot of hours. I have colleagues that work 20, 30 hours, some maybe almost work full time, because as it is a app job, you can if there is a big need, the office, they put out some more shifts so you can pick up.
Okay.
And if your colleagues, maybe they don't want to or can make to their swaps any days, then they put out it on the swap function. So you can apply for their swaps. Okay. So you can get a lot of hours if you need.
All right. Yeah, that we had a question about that on our YouTube account, like that last week. It was like, is it Foodora with like time slots, or is it like you pick your own time kind of thing? Or do you have like
you blocks? As we said before, everything, you have everything on your mobile and I'm just gonna check here. Maybe I can.
Maybe it's gonna show, maybe not.
Yeah, because. But is it... you put like on availabilities. So you always put you have like 1 week before, you can put your availability for next week. And that means you put just the times you cannot work.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I can't work on Monday and I can work on Wednesday between like 10 and 12.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so that's my unavailabilities. The rest of the time I can get shifts on that.
Oh, that's cool. Times. All right, yeah, that was the question that we had. So that's really cool to know. I also have other questions here. So you did work with like traditional jobs, or like the normal jobs we're talking about, right? Can you make a comparison between like an app job and a traditional job, like in your way, like? How do you think they're different? Are they similar at all, or?
Yeah, I can just talk about Foodora because I don't know how the other works are.
No, but I mean, like a normal office work. Did you work with a traditional job before?
Yeah, I think it's like Foodora is a very simple job. Of course, you can get more responsibility because they have like in Foodora you have like a team. You belong to a team with I think it's 15 riders, and every team has their captain rider. And when you become a captain rider, you have like more responsibility. you get more hours because you can work at the office.
Also, you can like how do you say that, like evolve inside
Yes,
like
exactly.
the business.
Yeah, so
really
that's
cool.
a good thing too.
Mm.
So then you can work with staffing.
Mm. So that's a bit similar to a traditional job, like actually being able to get more responsibilities and grow inside Foodora as you would in a normal company.
Exactly.
But then again, as you said, the task is very simple, right?
Yeah, the task is simple. You have your phone, you get the deliveries on your phone, and you pick up your deliveries, and you have like a map or the address where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
So, and I know some people that happened to me the first month. How gonna find everything, and
yeah, be a bit lost in the city.
Yeah, but I think most of the people after 3 months, the city.
Yeah, you know everything.
Yeah, upside down, every corner of it. So
yeah. Do you have like your favorite spots already now in the city that you didn't know before?
No, I have a lot of spots, secret spots,
that's cool.
and
that's cool.
so it's a simple job.
That's cool.
Anybody can do it with a phone and a mic.
Yeah. All right. So how does the payment happen? That's also a very common question. Like, how do you get your payment? Can you explain that in like a
there's two salary models. One is based on you get a fixed salary, hour salary. So you get one salary during the week, and from Fridays from 5 p.m. until Sunday, you get a little bit higher. And the other model is you get paid by performance. So you get you have like a little smaller hourly salary, but you get paid for each delivery.
All right.
So
which one do you use? Which one do you think?
The last one, the performance.
Okay.
Because I think you can get a whole lot of more. At least if you're good at finding, you have a.
If you're fast.
If you're fast, yeah. Because I think the most of the riders they make like 2 deliveries an hour. But if you're really fast, you can almost double that.
Wow.
That means you can get like 30, 40 crowns more each hour.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, you see the difference.
That's the difference, yeah. That's good. Well, if you're fast enough like you, if you're like cycling like you, I bet you can go really fast.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Yeah. Like I like the kick and I get more motivated. Yeah. Because I like riding. I like riding fast.
Yeah. And then you're like, I'm gonna make 4.
Yeah. So you always have that in the head. I'm gonna beat my own records. Yeah. And last day I did this amount. Today I'm gonna try to do more.
Nice. That's also a little bit of motivation there for you that wants to start delivering. Let's see what else. So in the end, like just to finish up this block too, like what do you think about like AppJobs.com in general? Because or everything, like the website and what do you think about AppJobs in general, like making money with apps like that?
Yeah, I was speaking to you guys before we started here because I saw there's some guys working with as a tourist guide. Yeah. And I think that's awesome. Yeah. Because I like the area of tourism, and I think that would be something I would like to work with too. And to get all of this on your just more working with your phone. Yeah, I think that's great. I also have recommended to my friends. I have 2 Brazilian friends who moved to one is moving to Sweden. I don't know when, but she's talking a lot. So I told her, well, visit AppJobs.com. Yeah, see something.
Yeah, there's Foodora or
anything else. And another friend, but he find another normal job. But I think the website is great, and
it's pretty crazy that you can get like paid doing things like that too. Right? Yeah, because you said like just being a tourist guide or like working as a deliverer.
I think it's like simple things, and you can get paid for it.
That's cool. Nice. So that's the end of the middle block. So we're talking just a little bit about your job and everything. But I just wanted to remind you guys once again that we're talking about life as a deliverer, like how, like, is it like how the payment and the requirements and everything together with like in the situation of being a delivery rider or a courier. So I just wanted to remind you guys to check our social media channels. Make sure to, where you're watching this right now, like, subscribe, all of that, and leave your comments too. So we have Sven asked, will this be available on replay on YouTube? And yes, this video is going to be available on YouTube and on Facebook later on. And he also asked a question about like a payment and money, and we just talked about like how it is possible to do this job as like a full time, not a full time, but like you can live off from this. So there's a lot of people doing that here, right?
Yeah,
that you just said.
Because I saw the question now, because it's difficult to say, because I work a little bit less than the others as I have another work.
Yeah.
So some weeks I just work like 5 hours. Last week I didn't work at all, because there was midsummer in Sweden, and there's a lot of things people drink a little bit more, so
exactly.
they needed me a little bit more at Systembolaget. So so
it's hard to say.
The payment I get from Foodora is not enough for me, but if it could be enough if I work like at least more. 20 hours. I think with 20 hours each week I could make a living.
Nice. We also have other questions coming, and Nach is here to help out. So if you listen to her voice here in the back, she's here helping us. Exactly. So what's the question, Nach?
So connected with earnings, Vani is asking if there is a minimum amount of hours you need to work. Like you can work whenever you want, but is there some minimum required hours to work?
Yeah, on the contract it says 10 hours. But during summertime, as people go on vacation, there's not as much to do. I think you can get like a 5 hours contract. But when I applied, I remember when I applied on the website, you could like fill in how many hours you can work. So it could be like 0 to 2 hours each week, or 2 to 8, and so on. So I think it's if you go in on the website and click on the apply link, you do not have to apply, but you can by clicking there you can see how many hours you can work, but at least 5 hours a week. That's my case.
Cool. Nice.
But it's very flexible.
All right.
As I told before, last week I didn't work. So
that's good. Yeah, those one of the benefits, right, of like working with an AppJobs is like the flexibility. Nice. Yes, we are almost hitting 19 minutes of video, so that's really cool. Just to finish off with like a little bit of like an explanation from your routine and everything. Like tell us a little bit, like how do you start your day when you're working as a delivery rider with Foodora?
Well, usually I work day shifts, because we have like night shifts too. But the earliest one is 10:30. There is shift. So when I have that kind of shift, I wake up, eat my breakfast, and start to get ready, put on my clothes, and I have. Before we had like a garage at Styrmansgatan here close to Strandvägen, where we can put our bikes and our bags. But I don't know what's happening. We don't have the garage more, so we have to bring home your bag.
And Foodora gives the bag and the gear for you, right?
Okay. So I have the bag and my bike at home. So I ride all the way from Lidingö to the login area. That has to be like in a radius of 500 meters from Gamla stan. So that means it can be anywhere like Slussen or
Okay, in the
Kungsholmen.
center of the city.
Yeah, usually I log in at Tumleborden because it's close to my home, and then I sit down and on the bench to wait for the first order.
Yeah.
Normally it takes like the first order can take like 5 minutes, and from then it's order all the time.
Yeah. And then you organize then your week like based on that. Like how many times did you say that you go in a week then writing?
Yeah, I work.
You select.
Select because normally sometimes I start the afternoon at the other work, so then I have time to.
Okay, so you
like
create
have
your own.
Like a 2-hour shift before, and then I have time for lunch and everything.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for this live stream. So we just talked about life as a deliverer or a courier or a delivery rider, all of those. If you're interested in any kind of job like this, make sure to go to AppJobs.com because there you can sign in or join now, select your working city, and then you can click on the category delivery to find all the apps that are available in your city. There might not be Foodora there, but there might be other companies that do a similar kind of job. And after you heard Emilio, now you have a bit more understanding of how the day-to-day is, how the payment can happen, and how the time slots you pick. So yeah, we talked a little bit more about Foodora and his experience, but delivery jobs generally have similar requirements, just might depend from country to country. But make sure to go to the website. We're also going to have links in the description box and links on Facebook, so make sure to check those. Don't leave without giving a thumbs up or a like or leaving another comment. As I said, these videos are going to stay here, so if you have any questions later on, just put it there. We're going to help you out. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Emilio.
Thank you.
And bye. Bye, Instagram. Bye, YouTube.